Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have the worst moments in porn star history. The top items they could have bought, but didn't. So in at number 5, we have an amazing guitar brought into the shop. This was not any normal guitar. It was Jimi Hendrix's 1963 Fender Stratocaster electric guitar. The quickest way for them to identify the guitar was by turning it over and finding the serial number. After a quick check, it was verified as the real deal, because that specific guitar is actually documented as having Jimi Hendrix played it. When the owner brought it into the shop, he knew it had a massive valuation coming, but was absolutely in awe when the guitar expert revealed his numbers of $750,000 and $1 million. And that was when one of the coolest moments turned very sour. Rick heard the numbers and tried to offer him $500,000 right off the bat. His next offer was $600,000, and the owner knew it was not even close to fair. Eventually, Rick decided against insulting the owner anymore, and they both parted ways. This could have been an item that made the store over $1 million, but with this one, it just wasn't meant to be. And number 4 brings us a piece of music history, which, if it hadn't have existed, could have meant one of the top 5 bands of all time might never have come to be. The item is the original contract of the Beatles. Their music is synonymous with the 60s and still gets heavy playtime today. Selling over 500 million albums and 17 UK number ones, they're easily one of the most successful bands of all time. The contract, which was written up and signed by John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and their manager, Brian Epstein, back in 1962. That original, and the only one in the world today, was brought into the store one day, and the seller wanted a cool $1 million cash for it, not a penny less. It was a bit much, and they simply had to pass. In at number 3, we have the crazy and wonderful item that is Robosaurus. This piece of machinery weighed in at 30 plus tons, 40 foot tall, with the ability to breathe fire and crush cars in its vice-like claws. This is something that has to be seen to be believed. Designed as a transformer, imagine Optimus Prime as a dinosaur-shaped machine, and you're pretty much there with the colour scheme and design. The owner was certain he was going to have the porn stars eating out of his hands, telling them that it could easily earn $25,000 a day. Well, if that was the case, after 3 weeks he would have earned the money he was looking for. Even with Chum basically begging to own the Robosaurus, it was seen as a purchase that could not be afforded by the porn stars, and they walked away. In at number 2, we have the Bronco as driven by O.J. Simpson in the infamous car chase of 1994. A 60-mile chase down several freeways, which took about 2 hours to conclude. It had nearly 100 million viewers tuned into the chase, and the 1993 white Ford Bronco became embroiled with anything to do with the trial. O.J. Simpson's Ford Bronco that he was in the day the LAPD was going to arrest him is one of the most iconic celebrity vehicles of all time. When he found out the police were coming for him, he panicked, and this was the car he took off in. When it was brought to him for purchase, Rick almost could not turn away from this incredibly rare piece of American history. However, the owner was looking for $1.25 million, leaving Rick with a choice to make. He eventually had to pass, as the uncertainty of what it would fetch was too much of a gamble, even for him. And lastly, in at number 1, we have the 3-piece suit of George Washington. This episode was made especially for the show's 500th episode, and what a way to mark it. As Rick stated, the George Washington suit was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen, across 9 years and 500 episodes of doing this show. The suit itself had been in a collector's possession for 21 years, and he'd purchased it in an auction in New York. Before that, the suit, which is all silk and was originally pink, was passed down for generations among Washington's family members. Porn stars expert and go-to authenticator Mark Hall Patton joins Harrison in examining the suit, which is estimated to be from the 1750s or the 1760s. When it came to selling the item though, things went a bit west. Brian, who brought it in to auction, was not really looking to sell and threw out an asking price of $3 million. He dropped it to $2.5 million, but a deal never happened and Rick had to walk away empty-handed. Thank you so much for watching, guys. What's the most weird thing you've ever seen on a Pawn Stars episode? Let us know in the comments section. Until next time.